And oh shit. Oh damn. Ugh. Had to get that shit out. Yeah, and we're live. We're live, baby. We're live, man. Hey, what's good, man? You already know who it is. It's CP. You know me. You know me, baby. Um, so I got a nice little video for you guys. If y'all watched my last episode, I told y'all what was about to happen. I already told y'all that we are getting down to nitty gritty. We're getting into the football season. But before I want to talk about the football season, I wanted to discuss one important thing, and that's something I love to do. As y'all can see, the title of my name is CP, Colombian Papacito. If you're not gonna say it right, don't say it at all. So I wanted to discuss traveling to Colombia. As you guys know, if you've seen any of my other videos, my other shorts, my excursions, things of that nature that I've done in Colombia, which was a lot. My God. I love Colombia. I love it to its fullest. And I'm very lucky and fortunate. And I wouldn't say lucky. I'm very fortunate that nothing has happened to me while I was in Colombia because essentially a lot of bad things happen to bad people in Colombia, especially the ones that visit from the United States or they visit from like certain parts of the world that are coming there and looking for a certain thing. So I wanted to get into those things and I want to get into some topics and I wanted to tell you guys and forewarn you guys about what you should not be doing while you're going to Colombia. So let's go over a list of things that you should not be doing when you go to Colombia. Okay. Like I said, my name is CP. I go to Colombia all the time. So if you have any questions, put some questions in the chat, man. Give me some questions. Ask me how Colombia is, where to go, what to do. I've been to Medellin. My first time going to Colombia, I went to Medellin and I stayed there for about 20 days. My second time going to Colombia, I went to Bogota and Cartagena, and it was for about I would say 28 days. And then I went two more times after that. So I pretty much been to the three major cities in Colombia: Cartagena, Bogota, and Medellin, and I pretty much know the cities very well. So what I want to talk to you guys about is basically staying out of trouble, staying out of the limelight, or kind of like just staying under the radar if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're a celebrity, you're a A-list celebrity, you're gonna get the attention that you're gonna get anywhere because it's Colombia. They understand. They have social media. They know that you potentially are famous. But I want to give these regular Joes, or people who are going to Colombia to just have a good time for the first time. I want to give you some pointers right here. Number one pointer: don't treat the women like tourist attractions. Colombia is a beautiful place, full of magnificent and beautiful women. I'm not even kidding. Like, I was actually shocked the first time I went to Colombia how gorgeous the women were because I was like, man, like this is like a melting pot for beautiful women or something like that. Like how? And a lot of times dudes will go over there and kind of like take that for granted, like thinking they can have their cake and eat it too, which you can if that's what you're, if that's what you're worth. If you're worth a lot of money, you can have your cake and eat it too. But if you're just regular Joe and you go into Colombia, hey man, don't treat the girls like they're tourist attractions, man. Don't go there and just, you know, I want to see what this feels like. I want to see what this is like. I'm going to kick it with her. I want to kick it with this girl. And kind of like actually treat the women how you would treat women back where you live. Whether you live in the United States, whether you live in the Dominican Republic, where you live in Mexico, where you live, wherever you live, treat the women the same way you treat the women back home. Because when you go to Colombia, they don't understand and they don't comprehend how good looking they are. Like even my girl, my fiance, she never really understood how beautiful and magnificent and how gorgeous she actually looked until I began to tell her these things. And I mean, it's just like she just didn't know. Maybe it's not something that the men do out there, but um, from what I've seen, the men do tell a lot of their women that they're beautiful, or they do tell other women that they're pursuing they're beautiful, and they say all these, fantastic things and things of that nature. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to like just play with their emotions. You know what I mean? Like if you like, because those women are very genuine and like down to earth, and they're very good people, and a lot of them they might your first time meeting them, they might cook for you, clean for you. They might do these certain things that are considered like wife material um, things, but that's just something they grew up on. So you got to be very mindful because you can fall in love with the idea of having this person. And you can also fall in love with an idea that, hey, if she's like that, maybe there's all these other girls are like that. But like I said, some of you are the type of people that you want to have your cake and eat it too, but just don't be the guy that just straight up coming to Colombia for the women. You know what I mean? Like, don't come for the women. If, in the back of your in the back of everyone's mind, as soon as you get out of the airport, everyone's looking at, like, all the Colombian citizens are looking at you because they think that you're here for the women. Off rip, they don't think you're here for business. No, they think you're here for women. That's just how they are. Colombia knows. They know these things. They know that their country is full of gorgeous women. The women don't know that. And some of them do, but the women don't know that. So when they meet all these different men who are just, you know, treating them like every which way, or kind of like playing with their emotions, saying that they, love them and then never see them again, like, or possibly creating babies with them and just leaving them and stuff of that nature, you kind of ruin the vibe for a lot of people that come there and, just want to actually genuinely have a connection with a person. You know what I mean? They think you're just a tourist, a sex tourist, basically. That's what they call it. In Colombia, there's signs posted everywhere. No sex tourism. I'm telling you. In every single hotel, you will see a sign. It's like you can't avoid it. It's like everywhere, because that's not something that Colombia wants to be known for. They want to be known for its beautiful country, its magnificent food, and the culture that's there. Because there's a lot of culture in Colombia. There is a lot of culture. Um, if y'all have ever been to Texas, right? I'm born and raised in Texas. If y'all ever been to Texas, like during like the rodeo, or doing like certain festivals that are like just Texan festivals, there's so much culture you can't escape it. That's Colombia. That's Medellin. That's Cartagena. Kind of Bogota. So there's so much culture there for you to experience, and you don't have to just go there for the women. You can go there just to experience the culture and have a genuine connection with somebody, and you can get the woman that will treat you like a king there. You know what I mean? So, like I said, Colombian women, you got, they have value. You know what I mean? Treat them with respect. Don't dog them out. Don't be a piece of shit to them. Actually treat them with respect. Actually have a genuine conversation with them before you start talking about sex and stuff of that nature. Not all the women are trying to give you sex off rip, and some guys are able to get that. Some guys are able to get sex off rip. Cool, kudos to you. But not all the women are down for stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, you got to get to know me a little bit. Um, and yeah, man. So yeah, just treat the women with respect. Don't. And my thing is, bro, don't. I hate when people go to Colombia and they treat it like it's Miami or the Dominican Republic. Don't go to Colombia and pay for sex. That is so insane. Like, you leave your country to go to another country where you don't know these women, don't know nine times out of 10, you don't know their type of Spanish, their dialect or whatever, and you're trying to hook up with women and pay them for it. Don't you think there's a recipe for disaster? I mean, there's so many cases where men would, think they're getting somewhere with a woman, and the woman says, "Oh, well, I'll charge you this," and it seems like something cheap, right? It seems like something cheap, and they try to draw you in, and then the girls end up drugging the men by putting some powder on their pillow or something like that, and then pretty much they don't wake up for a while and drugging them, and they wake up, and when they eventually do come to and wake up, all their stuff is gone, their laptop, their phone, their keys, all their money and things of that nature. When you go, and the reason why that stuff like that happens is because you go looking for it. So you got to understand that if that's the energy that you're going to attract, well, then you got to understand on the same side of the injury, the energy is bad people. If you're gonna go do bad, you're gonna be around bad people. You know what I'm saying? That's not a safe environment, regardless. You know, sex tourism is not a safe environment. You should not be going to Colombia and paying women for sex. Like, you shouldn't. You should not. You should go to the club, or you should go to a bar like a normal person, or go to the mall. Hey, you can go to the mall and you can meet a girl. It's I'm not saying it's so easy, but it's like they're everywhere. I shit you not. I'm telling you, like, the ratio for men to women in Colombia is ridiculous. I shit you. I'm looking around. I'm seeing nothing but females. When I first got to Colombia, I'm like, golly, like there's way more women than there are men here, and it's just like that. You know what I mean? So you don't have to, skip all the steps just to get to sex. You can just go find a girl very easily, very easily. They're everywhere. They're walking on the street. They're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Take a girl out on a date. Something, man. Do something. Treat the woman with respect and value. Treat the Colombian women with respect and value. Don't go over there being a piece of shit and representing your country bad. You know, that's just one of the things. Another thing, don't expect everybody to speak English. I know American tourists, typically when you go to a place anywhere in the world, right? No matter if you're Abu Dhabi, you could be in Russia, you could be in Africa, you can be pretty much, you can go pretty much in any part of the world. But when you go to Colombia, a lot of them don't speak English. Only in the American areas, in the areas where they know like tours are going to be, that's where they speak English. But when you're coming like out of the airport, when you're on the you're at a hotel, you're at like some type of Airbnb, typically the staff speak very little English. You're going to have to do a lot of translation. And I made this mistake, right? Because when I first went to Colombia, barely knew any Spanish. I thought I did. I really thought I did. I really thought I knew enough Spanish to actually get around. I did not. Complete shock. My Spanish did not work, and the Spanish they were speaking back to me made no sense. And Colombians have probably like the most clear, articulate Spanish there is outside of Spain. Like, they literally have a very articulate Spanish where you can understand and pick up very easily. But me, I had the mindset of, oh, I'm an American tourist. Like, somebody's gonna speak English somewhere. Which, it happened like that for a while, but eventually it got to a point where I was like, I got past customs, and then eventually I got to the point where I had to meet my dad at the airport, and obviously my dad speaks English and everything like that, but the people around him, like his assistant, did not speak English. And then when I had to meet her and talk to her, like, I couldn't say anything, and it was just like, it was just that frustration. You couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? So always, always, always study the country before you go there, and that includes studying the language, studying the lingo. Study a little bit of Spanish just to get yourself around. Things like buenas. A lot of greetings are just buenas. You don't have to say buenas noches, buenas tardes, or Uh, God damn it, I'm drawing a blank here. Buenos dias. You don't have to typically say those things all the time. Typically in Colombia, you could just say buenas, simple, and then it'll be over. But just learning like proper greetings and things of that nature, or just learning like um, little, ugh, how would I say it? Just like learning like little things like not like hola, adios, or like things like ciao or bienvenidos or quiero, saying I want like quiero, or saying necesito, things of that nature. Just get into the habit of like just little words and have them turn into bigger words. Definitely learn your colors. Definitely learn money. Definitely learn money, because when they speak to you, they're going to speak to you so fast, and they're going to, try to obviously, a lot of the people, they know who the tourists are, so they're going to try to sell you something. And then if you're not really comprehending, like when they say 20 mil, you're not going to understand like that's like 20 mil peso if you don't comprehend like their lingo and how they talk about money. So understanding a little bit of their language definitely helps. You need to study, go on YouTube, um, and study just a little bit of their lingo just to get by, right? Just to get by a little bit, especially if you don't speak Spanish. You can go to Colombia, you don't have to speak Spanish, but I'm just saying, like, just know a little bit just to get by, and really practice it and understand it and utilize it before you actually get there. Because once you get there, you know, ain't no test. Like the test is real life. It's live. You know what I mean? So yeah, just learning Spanish. Like you're gonna need Spanish, and no matter what. If you go to Medellin, if you go to Cartagena, and if you go to Bogota, you're gonna need Spanish. Like you're gonna need to know something, because that they're gonna assume that you already speak Spanish when you get there. Because like, hey, yo, this is a Spanish country. This is all we do. This is all we talk about. Everything's gonna be in Spanish. All the directions, everywhere you go, the taxis, the everything's gonna be in Spanish, and you're just gonna have to adjust. Which brings me to my next point. Not, and I mean do not use taxis unless you know them. Now, me personally, I have used taxis, and the only reason why is because I have a Colombian fiance. That's the only reason why. And she knows the prices more than me. And so we typically work as a team to ensure that we're getting the right price. But there's no need for you to use taxis at all, because the only reason why typically we would use taxis, me and her, if it's a family member, like if one of her family members is picking me up, picking her up, or something like that, picking us up, that's the only time we will typically use taxis. Or if we don't have access to internet at a certain place where we're at and we're trying to get somewhere. That's the only time. But you shouldn't be in a place where it doesn't have internet anyway. I can be in those places because I have a Colombian fiance. I can do that. Y'all can't, unless you have what I have. Um, do not use these taxis. As soon as you leave the airport, withdraw some money. Right, always have some cash on you. Withdraw some money, turn those big bills, those 100 mil pesos, into 20 mil pesos, 20 or tens and things of that nature. Make sure you turn those big bills into little bills, guard it, put it in your pocket, and then go get on the Uber app, download. If you don't have Uber app, download Uber and fucking use Uber. Use Uber for travel. Definitely don't use the taxis, because if you go to, I'm telling you right now, if you go to the taxi, what they're gonna charge you off rip, what they're gonna charge you is 120 mil peso. It happened to me. It happened to me, and it was the only reason why they got me. The only reason why they got me is because my signal was not working. My roaming Wi-Fi was not working. I was trying to surprise my fiance by going to like a certain spot so I can propose to her, because she didn't know I was coming. So I did this whole plan to like surprise my fiance, and I flew into Colombia, Bogota, and then I set up this whole like charade of events and everything like that just to surprise her. I might put a photo up just to show, um, just to surprise her and make her feel like I was trying to surprise you and everything like that. And then, when I proposed to her, she said yes, so it worked. Um, but I end up paying 120 mil pesos. Like that's what I got charged just because I got in a taxi at the freaking airport when I could have just used Uber. I could have just used Uber. Literally. I could have been good. I probably would have paid at the most 30 mil peso if I would have used Uber. You know what I mean? Don't use a taxi. When you get there, unless you have a large amount of people, like if you pull up with like six plus different people, just use a taxi. 120 mil peso between all six of you is nothing. But if it's like two or three people, man, just use Uber. Don't even deal with the taxis, man. They are out to get your money. They hustle. It's a hustle, man. They trying to make it too. They gotta eat. They gotta feed their family. They gotta do all that. I done heard all the stories from every single one of them, and sometimes I felt bad, and other times I didn't care because I'm like, God damn, I keep hearing the same story, bro. Every time I come here, I keep hearing the same story, bro. I don't want to use a taxi, bro. I don't want to hear the same story. I don't want to hear the oh, I gotta do it. I don't want to hear it, bro. I gotta feed my family too. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and with that being said, when it comes to like the taxis, and stuff like that, and the money and stuff like that, make sure you turn those big bills into little bills. And that brings me to my next point. Don't be disrespectful with, you know, about the money. Don't be disrespectful about the money. When you, if you're coming from Europe or like London, or you're coming from the United States, especially when you transfer your money into pesos, you're gonna get a lot of money back. You're gonna get a lot of money back. I'm be off rip. You're gonna get a lot of money back. Do not turn into the biggest asshole. Don't do it. I did it. I made the mistake. I made it. I did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one who talks about money mindset. I turned into the biggest asshole. It was my first time there, right? It was me and my girl. I wasn't even trying to impress her. Maybe I was. Actually, I was. I was trying to impress her. I was already a little bit of lit. You know what I mean? I just got my hair cut. My girl just got, hmm, she's got her hair done or whatever. I don't know. She did her own hair, but we were looking good. We were looking spicy. I was like, yeah, let's go to the club. Let's go to a little spot. It's called Parqueyeras. If y'all been there, you already know what I'm talking about. Parqueyeras in Medellin. We went to Parqueyeras, and then end up going to like a little disco where they played just reggaeton the whole freaking night. Oh my god, they played reggaeton the whole night, bro. Like what? What? How do you play reggaeton the whole night? But anyway, so we were literally, as soon as I walked in, they saw, like, and me and my girl, we had the same skin tone. Our hair's a little bit different. Her hair is more 3C. My hair is obviously more 4C. But when we walked in, they saw she was Colombian. They saw I was American because I guess they had to check my ID and stuff like that, which I always keep at the Airbnb. I don't bring my passport with me. I have a picture of it on my phone. So I showed them and everything like that. And off rip, okay, yeah, we know he's American. She's Colombian. He's American. Let's get him. So as soon as I walk in, everybody's showing me king treatment and everything like that. I'm feeling good. They hyping me up. I'm feeling good. Because obviously I got this wad of money in my pocket, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and then at the entrance, they're like, hey, it's gonna cost you 20 mil peso to get in. I'm like, man, come on now, 20 mil peso. And then my girl, she's like, what? She's like, kind of trying to talk him down, argue with him and everything like that. And then I'm like, nah, man, it's okay. I pulled out my money. I slipped out a little, I slipped up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I showed them a few bills I already had. And then I pulled out the 220s, gave it to him, and we kept it going. I was already lit. Like I said, it was already lit. So I'm just trying to keep the litness going. Let's get inside the club, baby. So we get inside the club, everything like that. They gave us a table, so I'm like, okay, cool. So the guy, he's calling himself a server, but he's really just bothering the shit out of me. He's not serving me. I'm just trying to catch a vibe, and he's just like in my face. So he's handing me a menu, and I'm like, bro, like I'm good. And then he's like, yo, no, just look at it, just look at it. He's showing me the menu. Hey, you can get this, you can get this, you can get this. And I'm like, man, give me this, bro. Give me this. So not even looking at it, I'm just like, just give me this, bro. Like whatever. And then she's looking, she's like a little frantic because like I just chose an expensive bottle. Like to her in her eyes, I'm big balling. I'm coming from America. I got a big wad of money in my pocket, whatever, whatnot. But I ended up spending way too much money. So the guy came and then he was like, "All right, we're gonna get this bottle. How are you gonna pay for it?" And I was like, well, how much is it? Cuánto es? And then he was like, what do you say, 350 mil peso? I'm like, 350 peso. I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me. She's like, she starts talking. She starts going over. She starts talking him down. She was saying, "No, we don't want that bottle. We want the half bottle. We want this bottle. We're better." But which bottle did he order? And so she ends up, you know, convincing the guy to give us another bottle, um, so we can have to ourselves, which was actually way cheaper. Yeah, I think it was 150 mil peso. And I was like, okay, I got that. I got that. I got that. Here you go. And that was just like my lesson. Like I literally, they were hyping me up. They knew I was American, and then they knew that I was feeling good. I was trying to impress her, like that I had money, which I didn't have to impress her because she already liked me for me at the time. And I was trying to, be Mr. Macho and everything like that. And she actually covered for me. She helped me out, and she actually got the deal better suited for us. Because I'm like, oh shoot, like if I would have end up paying for that other bottle, I would have pulled all the money I had left out of my pocket. I wouldn't have, you know, 350 mil peso. I don't even think I had that much money on me. I probably had maybe 300 mil at the most, 300 mil peso at the most. And she got it, talked them down. We ended up paying 150 for the bottle, 150 mil peso for the bottle, and then we were able to enjoy it ourselves. And I was actually happy that she actually helped me out in that moment. But don't 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 be disrespectful about the money. You know what I mean? Like, don't act like just because you went to the ATM and pulled out $200 and they gave you 900 mil peso. Don't sit there and act like you Mr. Big Baller. It's just the way things are. You know what I mean? Spend your money slightly. Spend your money slightly. The people you want to tip are the people when you go to the mom and pop shops where they be, slaving in that kitchen, cooking you some good Colombian food that has the platanos, the papas, the ensalada, the carne asada, and the limon, all the all the freaking juices that you want on the food and everything like that. Those are the people you want to get some extra money to, not the people that are the club promoters, not these guys. Those guys always get extra money. They jip people all the time. So don't be trying to flaunt your money in front of them people. Now, when it comes to like the people, the mom and pop shops, those are the ones that need the extra money because those are the ones that giving you the good, good, good food, the good Colombian food, the good Colombian experience. I say that to say this: don't keep more than 200 mil peso in your pocket at a time because you don't need more than that. You don't need more than that. You don't. You can literally find places that is 20 to 30 mil peso to eat. You know what I'm saying? For two people. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you can do it. I'm telling you. I did it. I did it, bro. I did it. Everywhere. Probably less. Probably spent less. So you got to be careful where you go in Colombia, and you got to be mindful of the amount of money that you keep on yourself because everywhere you go, somebody's trying to hustle you. I'll give you another example. Typically, when I get too lit, or when I need to calm down, I'll smoke a cigarette. Right? I'll smoke. I genuinely don't really smoke cigarettes ever, but I will smoke a cigarette if I am feeling like, oh shit, like I'm like way too lit right now. I need to calm the fuck down. So I'm outside the club. Me and my girl, we outside the club in Medellin in Paqueyeras, and then we're walking around. Dude looks just like me, not face wise, but like what I'm trying to say. Colombian dude looks just like me. I'm thinking, what I'm saying, what's up? I'm gonna help this guy out. Um, I just want one cigarette. I go up to him, I ask him for a cigarette and everything like that, and then he replies back, what do you reply back? 5,000, because obviously my Spanish wasn't as good. And I'm looking at I look at her for from then on. I look at her for confirmation. I look at her. She's like, no, dos mil. She kind of like, yo, like I already know that we trying to play. Don't be trying to play my man right here. You know what I'm saying? She always got my back, man. I swear she always had my back. She like, don't be trying to play my man right here. Like, yo, dos mil for one cigaretto, and then I got my cigarette, and that just showed me. I'm like, yo, like I looked out. I was like, why the fuck is everybody trying to hustle me? Why is everybody trying to play me? And I say that to say this: stop flaunting like you got money out there. Because if you bringing money out to Medellin or like Cartagena and these places, they gonna take that shit. They're gonna find a way to get that shit out of you. They're gonna find a way to take that money from you. So don't flaunt it. Act like you don't got it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Act like you don't got it, bro. I'm telling you, man. Be like, yo, like, I left my dinero and habitación. I don't have my money. I left it in my room. I don't have it. So try to play it all the way to the end. You know what I mean? That you ain't got money like that. Now, if it's your last day, go crazy. By all means, go crazy. Don't be an asshole. Not saying be an asshole, but go crazy, man. By all means, do what you got to do. Um, but definitely be careful how much money you have in your pocket at one time, because people are up to no good, and if you're up to no good, the people that you surround you with are up to no good too. So it is what it is. Moving on to my next point, man. Safety. A lot of you clowns be getting on Bumble, Tinder, um, whatever apps there are out there, man. Y'all be linking up with shorties right before you even get here, or y'all link up with shorties while you're there, right? Yo, learn how to vet people. Learn how to vet. Like, no one should be trying to reach out to you, asking you questions like, "Hey, when you getting here?" Questions like, "Yo, like, where you staying at?" and all that type of stuff. No, you should be meeting up in a public place. If you're gonna meet up with a girl, I'm not saying don't do it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna meet up with a girl on Bumble, Tinder, and all that stuff, meet up with her at a freaking like a established restaurant. Like meet up with her at a place where it is public. Don't be meet up with these women as soon as you get out the airport, and then they say, "Hey, I got a ride for you." Just tell a guy that you going with me. Just say this name, and then and they got a picture of you already. That's how you get kidnapped, bro. Like a lot of y'all are doing dumb shit. A lot of y'all doing dumb shit. Y'all be on Tinder, and then y'all freaking meet up with somebody at a hotel, and it's not even the safe hotels. It's the hotels that don't have security and shit. It's like the hotels you could just walk in and get a fucking room. Um, and then you meet up with a person, and they end up taking all your shit and fucking you over, and you deserve it. You deserve it because you're not using your fucking common sense brain. Stop meeting up with people on Bumble, on Tinder, and just thinking they're fucking saints, man. And a lot of times, you gotta learn to look for the signs. If a person's not very responsive, and in the way they're responding, are they being needy when they respond to you? Like, how are they treating you? And what efforts are they making to try to meet you? Are they being genuine? Or are they being non genuine? Do you actually feel some chemistry? Have you FaceTimed this person? Have you actually talked to this person over the phone? I understand you may not know Spanish, but if you're gonna meet up with a girl on Tinder, like fucking video call the girl at least. Video call her, yo, like baby, I don't know Spanish, but I want to see what you look like. You know what I mean? I'm not about to sit here and like act like, you know what I'm saying, that you're just gonna be beautiful when I meet you. No, shorty, let me put you on video. Let me check you out. Let me scope you out. That way I know when I see you, I know what I'm looking at. Some of you guys are just retarded. Y'all get sidetracked because y'all come there and y'all looking for shit. Y'all looking to pay for sex. Why? Why? You're in another country. You're looking to pay for sex, man. And that's how you end up in those situations of getting robbed and getting stole on. and or somebody taking advantage of you. Hopefully, that doesn't happen. But typically those things happen. So you gotta be watchful of who you meet up with. Don't Definitely vet the person to the point where you are talking to this person every single day at least. Like you got their Instagram, you got their Facebook, and you got their WhatsApp. You know what I'm saying? It has to be that. You have to be fully locked in with this person. Like, yo, let me see your Instagram. I'm not meeting you till you FaceTime me. I'm not meeting you till you show me something. Like I need to verify. Send me your cedula. Ask for ID, bro. Ask for ID because some of y'all probably end up with a girl who's pretending to be a certain age, and now you end up in a case because when you pull up to meet up with her and you're out in public and you meet up with the girl and people looking at you like, yo, why you meet up with a girl that look like she in high school or she look like she's not an adult yet? You know what I'm saying? And then the police get on your ass. So yeah, do your homework, bro, before you meet up with people. A lot of people get robbed. Make sure you make sure, like I said, make sure if you're going to meet up with somebody on Tinder, you're going to meet up with somebody on Bumble. You vet that person. Use someone else to vet that person, which is always the safest thing. Using a two-party vet system, you and a friend or somebody that already lives in Colombia, or something like that. You know what I mean? Vet that person. People you should meet while you're experiencing things. Those are the people you should actually like, no shit, pay attention to and actually give them a chance to be with them while you're experiencing things. When you're out there experiencing Colombia, let's say you're at Communion de Teresa, I think it's called, and that's a very popular tourist attraction area, and you just meet someone there that maybe works there or lives in that neighborhood, or maybe you meet like another person that's visiting there that's from Colombia. That's okay. You know what I mean? Don't go home with them a little bit, kind of have a drink. Let me buy you a drink. Hey, let's, eat some food together. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And I get it. You probably can't talk in Spanish. Google translate that shit. Actually vet this person. Actually have conversation with this person. And then you can move things forward. But yeah, man, that was probably one of my biggest ones because I a lot of people end up in those crazy situations where they're just like you're just like, dude, how did you even end up getting robbed? Like how in what scenario? How did this play out in your head? Because and that's another thing you're gonna notice when you're in Colombia. The women are very nice, and it's not because they're trying to trick you. It's just how they were raised. Now, some of them use their nice for evil, and some of them use their nice for good. My woman is one of the good women who uses her niceness for good. I'm blessed. I'm glad. But there are a lot of women that are going to be nice to you, overly nice to you, um, and you end up in a situation to where you're like, God damn, like this person's nice to me. Maybe I should, ask her out. Maybe I should invite her back to my hotel or something like that. And you didn't fully vet the person. You're just going based off of them giving you gifts. What? Come on now. They're just giving you gifts. They're giving you pizza or they're giving you food, and then they're offering to go to your house and cook for you and rub your feet and stuff like that. You take that? I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounds like a setup to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you just out smoking a hookah, you know what I'm saying, outside, and a girl just come up to you and just hand you some food. You think she's just being nice to try to get your attention? Or do you think she's being genuine? Like what do you think is going on here? Is she probing you in a way? Come on now. Y'all gotta use your common sense, dog. And if you don't have common sense like that, you probably shouldn't travel by yourself. You probably should travel with a group of friends who has common sense. Always have a travel buddy if you don't have common sense. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to give y'all some pointers about Colombia. I love Colombia. Colombia is like becoming my favorite place, to be honest with you guys. I'm probably gonna retire and live in Colombia, either Colombia or Panama. I'm trying to think maybe between the two. Definitely cheaper to live in Colombia. Panama is a very beautiful place, and I like the idea of living in Panama. I've always wanted to do that when I retire, but Um, Now I'm kind of leaning more towards Cartagena, that area on the coast where they have the good food, the good culture, and the lovely, lovely Colombian family that I have there. But that's my experience, and those are my pointers. So I talked about the negative things today. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the positive things, the things that you should be doing when you go to Colombia. All right. So today we talked about some things to avoid. Tomorrow we'll be talking about some things to actually do. Stay tuned.